We begin the second half here from Savage Stadium in Lamar, where the Beat Diggers are leading 19-12. Will receive the opening kickoff. It's a short kick. It's going to be caught by O'Kelly at the 28. He's got a seam across the 35 to the 40. It's a return of 12 before the tackle was made by Angelo Valdez, along with Angel Gonzalez, the 6-foot, 155-pound senior. And the Beat Diggers set up shop at the 40-yard line. Can't complain with that field position, Dave.
No way. And, Brush made a real smart change there at halftime, a real smart adjustment by the coaching staff. They took Bobby O'Kelly from his deep position on the field, and they put him over here in this corner where they noticed Lamar's trying to kick the ball. They want O'Kelly to receive those kickoffs. 1st and 10, Brush with a football at their own 40-yard line. The lone setback is Hepner. O'Kelly in motion to the right. Hepner with the inside handoff runs into a Savage, but he ran into Tyrell Woodward at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 4 for the senior, Nate Hepner, and it'll be 2nd down and 6. And Hepner's just one of many very special seniors in this group, Dave. You bet. I'm so glad to see Nate out here. He's had an injury-plagued season, and good job for Geno, stepping in there and filling in for him. But it's neat to see Hepner out here playing what could be the final game of the season for the Diggers. 2nd down and 6. Samples in motion to the left, handoff to Hepner. This time he runs into another Savage at the 45-yard line, and Shane Herrera, but because he's so strong, he was able to gain an additional yard, a pickup of 2 to the 46-yard line, setting up a 3rd down and 4. Yeah, Brush is just trying to power that ball straight ahead and set a precedence here in the second half that they're going to control the line of scrimmage. So, real interesting what's going to happen here. Are they going to go outside wide again or just try to pound it back up the middle? Well, they've been successful both ways, so it's going to be Lamar's guess, and the Beat Diggers know exactly what they're going to do. 3rd down and 4 from their own 46, and motion to the right is Gutierrez. Ginther under center will hand it off to Hepner right side. He's short of a 1st down. He gets to the 48-yard line, brought down to the ground by Dalen Kerr, the 5'9", 185-pound senior linebacker. 4th down and a long 2, and I don't know if Randy Dreitz is going to gamble this early, because this looks like the first to get the 30, maybe 40 points is going to win this game, Dave. I don't think defense is going to dictate what happens in the second half, because it certainly didn't dictate what happened in the first half. You're right. I expect Brush to come out with their shift punt formation here and make that shift and try to drive Lamar off sides. 4th down and 2 for the 48. They've got to get to the other side of the 50. Ginther is going to keep it himself on the bootleg. He's going to get a 1st down to the 49. Still on his feet to the 40. A seam to the outside of the 30. Back towards the middle to 25. He's down at around the 23. A huge pickup for Joe Ginther. A gain of 28 and a Beat Digger 1st down. I don't believe it. I'll tell you what, that is a gutsy call. The coaching staff's a bunch of gamblers. I'll tell you got Dreitz and Dillahay. They're both gambling kind of guys, but they knew. That's why they're the coaches. They know what's going on out there. They made a great call here. We were talking about how they shouldn't do that, how they ought to probably punt it and play smart, but they knew that was a play that was going to put Brush down there in the scoring position. Yeah, let's face it, Lamar's not been able to stop Brush all day long. 1st and 10, Beat Diggers from the 24. In motion to the right is Neil Samples. A pitch left to Briggs. He gets a block from Deal to the outside of the 20, back to the middle at the 15. He spins to the 10. It's 1st and goal for the Diggers. Hard running by Shiloh Briggs. Give him 15 more for the senior. 75 yards on the day for Shiloh Briggs on 11 attempts. So, he's cranking out well over 6 yards of carry, and that's a nice thing. Let me tell you, I think J.R. Finley has a horrendous cramp because he just fell down to the ground as he was going back towards the huddle. He's on his stomach. A Savage is also down in the play. He literally just collapsed on the ground, and it looks like a cramp from this vantage point because I think he was actually up, and now we have... They need to get a doctor out there, John. I think there's something kind of twisty looking going on there with his knee, and I see the coaches trying to get a doctor out there on the field. You're right. I think it's a lot worse than a cramp. He just went down to the ground. I thought he got up. I saw peripherally that he was getting up, but look at how many people are out there, Dave. That's a serious injury. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Back in 60 seconds, the Beat Diggers in the lead 19-12 over Lamar with 9:29 to go in the 3rd quarter on KSIR. Back from Savage Stadium in Lamar, where the Beat Diggers lead 19-12. And, Dave, that injury to Finley is a lot worse than a cramp. This has required an ambulance. Yeah, I'll tell you what, they drove that ambulance right out there on the field. You got to say thanks to the Lamar people. And Greg Eady, he's a wrestling coach down there. He's the athletic director that's doing the job of setting this up. He's got an ambulance right there ready to go. And they're tending to him, and it looks something wacky there's going on, because I agree with you. He stood up, and he took a couple of steps, but that second step, something gave.
Well, I hate for you to do this, but I guess without being too gory about it, because we were talking about it all fair, exactly how did you see that injury? Because obviously it looked very unnatural.
Yeah, his leg, one of his legs, his right leg, I think it is, looks like it was kind of turned a little bit of the wrong way. So, I don't want to alert anybody by giving any false information to anybody at home, but calling it like I see it, something wacky there's going on with his knee or his leg or his ankle.
He's got to have some tear somewhere or a fracture, perhaps even a compound fracture, because rarely, Dave, do we see an ambulance at any football game, and usually when it requires that, obviously he's going to be carried off on a stretcher. And it's very, very sad because Finley's a guy who's a major contributor to this team. He had a big catch in the first half, and he's been a big player all year in the passing game, and it's just the Beat Diggers now are just going to have to rally around this kid. And, this is just one of the many rallying points that a team goes through throughout the course of the season when their character's being tested, and no bigger rallying point for a team to get around than when a player goes down like this.
Yeah, and, JR did. He had a real nice catch there in the first half, for 17 yards, and it was a situation they needed to have a big catch because they had a big penalty before that was making it second and long, and JR made that nice catch, and he's been there working hard throughout the season, throughout the summer. It's just a sad thing to have happen, but it's the essence of the sport. There's going to be a few injuries, and you just got to hope that it's not you.
Yeah, the Lamar player is off the field, but J.R. Finley is still being attended to. And the Beat Diggers lead 19-12 with 9:29 to go in the third. They received the opening kickoff in the second half. They were able to get a couple of first downs. Most recently, that last play, a 15-yard run by Shiloh Briggs. That was preceded by a 4th and 2 in which Joe Ginther traveled 28 yards all the way down to the 24-yard line. And I imagine that this will take a while before they get Finley off the field because this is such a sensitive injury, even though we do not know what it is. Obviously, they have to stabilize that body part.
Yeah, they threw the splint out there, one of those air splints. They threw it out there right next to him, and it looked like they were getting ready to put that on his body. And tell you what, they're still tending to him. The coaches are still out there. The officials are all standing around. Lamar players are over here on their sideline, and all the Brush players are over standing by their sideline, and the Brush crowd is all standing up and looking over there, and they're all worried about JR and hoping that he's going to be all right.
First and goal for Brush. The football at the 9-yard line, moving right to left from our vantage point as now the clock continues to roll. The back's in an eye. Ginther is going to hand it off to Briggs, right side to the 7-yard line, maybe, before he is stood up and driven back and driven down to the ground by Joe Herrera. And let's see, they'll just give him the 8. We'll give him a yard on the play. And it'll be 2nd down and goal.
Brush comes out without a huddle here. They're just going to get up on the line of scrimmage and get after him.
3 men in the backfield. Ginther, play action, rolling right in the bootleg. Wants to run. He's going to have nothing unless he can get out of a hole. He can't. He's down at the 10-yard line. A loss of 2. And it is 3rd down and goal for the 10. And I don't know. I think that call maybe surprised me. I thought they just run the football because they have run that bootleg on maybe 3rd and 4th down plays, but not on 2nd down.
Yeah, and that's something that you got to set up. And after you burn, it seems like after you burn a team with a play a few times, they get wise to it. And I think Lamar might have been wise to it in that situation.
No doubt about it. The clock now reads 8 minutes and 19 seconds to go, third quarter. Beat Diggers in the lead, 19-12, but maybe a passing situation. 3rd and goal for the 10. Backs are split. Ginther, play action, looking middle, throwing over the middle. It is complete. Touchdown! The 3rd touchdown pass by Joe Ginther. This one to Bobby Gutierrez. Brush now leads 25-12.
If you would have told me before this football game that Ginther would throw 3 touchdown passes,
I'd be rich.
I'll tell you what, you would be rich because I would have just about bet my house. And the Digger offensive line is doing a great job with their passing, and the receivers are running good patterns. And Ginther's just threading the needle. He's on the money today.
How about 3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers?
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. I'm just so happy for the Diggers, to capitalize here when things weren't looking so good.
Extra point by Briggs is up and good inside the left upright. 8:08 to go, third quarter. Brush has now opened up a 2-touchdown lead, 26-12 over Lamar on AM 1010 KSIR.